You know, my wife was a real battle axe. I've just been watching the Norm compilation videos on YouTube.
They're great. They're all...
That's my...
It's great, and then there's like 3 jokes in like the dozen that are like, oh, hey, Norm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Speaking of jokes that are like, hey, we're here to talk about Waterboy, because you're listening to Happy Amblin, the Adam Sandler, Steven Spielberg retrospective podcast, hosted by me, Diego Crespo, and my co-host, Matt Garingo.
That's me. I came up with this stupid idea of a retrospective.
Yes, you did, but you know what? For all the starts and stops we've had of, just because 2019 was 2019, I'm not, like, regretting doing this. Like, I'm coming off of, like, a very long workday, and I'm like, no, yeah, I think I could actually do 2, and I was kind of tepid about doing some back-to-back recordings. Back-to-back recordings. I can feel candid for that.
No, we record these once a week.
Oh, yeah. Cut to the trailer. Actually, just kidding. I gotta be careful about what trailers I show now because YouTube is run by fucking idiots. So if you're listening to this on SoundCloud or iTunes or Spotify, then you probably did get a little bit of the trailer there. If you're watching on YouTube, sorry, I'm not trying to get sued.
You're also going to get some of the fun little clips that I will demand Diego put in.
Yeah, again, if you're listening on YouTube or watching the audio-visual format, look, I'm not going to lie to you. Just subscribe to us on YouTube and check us out on the SoundCloud and the Spotify. Okay, like that's your best bet.
Subscribe to the YouTubes. And then, like, run the video in the background while you're doing something else, but the preferred version is on Spotify and the other thing.
Yeah, because they won't sue me.
Yep.
So, now we're here to talk about The Waterboy. Adam Sandler reteams with director Frank Coraci, who had just directed him in The Wedding Singer. And I don't know if this was shot, like, before. It was definitely shot, like, very close because these came out the same year.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet Wedding Singer seems a little cheaper. So I'm guessing that was like kind of a low budget thing they did really quickly, and then this was the bigger project that came out.
Which is like hilarious to me because this is another one of the Adam Sandler films in this like early tenure where it has a soft spot for our generation. We'll talk about whether or not that holds up for us, of course. But but not like other people outside of our generation. They don't really respond to it as much because I think this is like where it's really Adam Sandler's like this will kind of become his signature, so to speak, in terms of performances. Where we've talked about how he's loud and abrasive a lot of the time, but like oh boy, there are some decisions made in this film. And that's I don't know. I just I wonder how he looks back at this.
Hey,
I mean, I'm probably pretty fondly. I
guess. Hey Diego, guess what? I love The Waterboy.
Holy fuck!
I fucking love this movie.
Is this your favorite of the Adam Sandler films we've gone over?
No, Billy Madison will probably always be that. I mean, on the Sandler curve, I should stress.
Oh.
Like, once we get...
Well, the Sandler curve recently just got another uptick, so you gotta, like, really stress that.
Yeah, but it's like... But I'm talking about, like, his movies specifically made in-house by him.
Okay. That's fine.
Because, you know, movies like Punch Drunk Love are, like, on a cosmic scale compared to the Sandler scale.
I mean, but sometimes that's just on a whole other echelon of like filmmaking in general, even without like comparing it to Sandler.
But this movie, I think it just shows how easy it is to make me laugh. Because I do get a genuine kick out of violence or the threat of violence. I find that all very.
Oh, now I see why you.
I find that all very amusing. And honestly, oddly enough, though, it didn't work for me as much in Happy Gilmore, but it works a lot more for me here. Because I think Happy Gilmore is more just like a straight psychopath.
Yeah, like it's almost not fun a lot of the times. Like I mentioned on the episode that movie does every once in a while it just like hits me with something and I'm like, ha. But I gotta be honest, this one not so much.
This one didn't get you in any way?
I mean like bits and pieces, but not nearly as much as stuff like Wedding Singer, which is just like a generally pretty charming film, or Billy Madison, which of course, you know, has many highlights with just how crazy it is.
I'm waiting to see if they ever get back, because I don't remember much of his later stuff, so I'm waiting to see if we ever get back to that more absurd stuff that was in Billy Madison. I don't think we ever do, which is a shame.
There is one film that for sure has something that you're just like, what? How did they convince that person to do that? And I know you know what it is.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's necessarily absurd.
I don't see how it's like, to me that's totally like one of the most absurd Adam Sandler
in a
things.
sense, but
we should probably just like not.
No, we don't need to say it, but
cause...
just what I'm saying is like there's no reason for there to be a giant penguin in Billy Madison. There's no real setup and there's no real payoff either. It goes nowhere. Whereas other stuff that is like really odd, it is central to the plot. So,
or I guess so.
So I was thinking there's another comedy like this, but it's not an Adam Sandler film. Norm Macdonald's Dirty Work has a similar vibe to Billy Madison. If you've ever seen Dirty Work.
Oh, maybe Reign Over Me.
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave that one hanging.
Oh, so you're the one bringing up 9/11 now.
Yeah.
We got to do that movie at some point.
I know it's. Let's see. We're less than 10 episodes away from.
We need a song to play every time I bring up 9/11.
No.
It should be some like one of those. What's that like horn that's like playing at the beginning of like Saving Private Ryan?
No.
Earn this, Diego.
No. Because we're gonna talk about that movie eventually, we'll just leave that one hanging.
Oh yeah, no, I will not give my thoughts on Reign Over Me yet.
No. I'm talking about Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yes. I forgot this is also a Spielberg retrospective.
Yeah. He does some pretty good movies.
Yeah. I had someone recently say 1917 was better than Saving Private Ryan. That person is wrong.
No, but I think Film Twitter got a little up in arms about that when maybe they shouldn't have.
Was it on Film Twitter? Did someone say this is someone said to me in real life?
Oh no! I just think Film Twitter, like, I saw a lot of criticism about 1917 as a gimmick, and then like even if it just was, I'm like, at least it's fucking something. And I think the movie does do more than just like, here's a flashy seeming one take for 2 hours. I think that's Deakins is actually doing something there with it, but this is the 1917 podcast, and I don't
all these film fuckers love
that.
to masturbate over Roger Deakins.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, but I have some respectability, frankly.
Okay.
At least
you probably didn't even watch The Goldfinch for him.
Oh God, he did that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great dusk shots. I didn't hate it, just for the record, since I brought it up.
No, a lot of people do not like that movie.
Oh no, yeah, like completely get it.
Is it based on a book a lot of people liked? I think that's what I heard.
I heard the book was actually kind of controversial, and I'm like, I probably don't need to read it if it's anything like this.
Is it like neoliberal trash?
No, I think this is gonna be mean. I think it's just it's it's a story that got away from the filmmaker,
Mm-hmm.
who I really like because he had just done Brooklyn a couple years before that, which is like a really heartfelt, wonderful movie starring Saoirse Ronan. So I recommend that on this Billy Madison podcast. Happy Madison podcast.
Yes, Waterboy. Here we are.
Waterboy.
This movie was released by the Walt Disney Company.
I don't want to get into a tirade, but they would never.
They would never do this today.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, they'd never make this controversial comedy today. This was like less than 30 years ago. And they literally would not make this.
They wouldn't. And this was a big hit, too, for them, which I think at a time when they were struggling to get some hits.
Yeah, like, people forget that, like, when they did the Disney Plus announcement, I swear this is related, this isn't just a tirade, but, like, Disney bought out Marvel, Star Wars, all that jazz after Pirates of the Caribbean started, like, teetering a little bit, right? And also because they probably want to own everything that we do. But, like, their live-action stuff wasn't, like, making hits.
Yeah, well, they
struggled a lot of the time.
Yeah, they tried. Pirates of the Caribbean was, like, the only one that worked. Mm-hmm. And then they tried John Carter, which failed. And they tried to bring Tron back, which failed. And then they tried The Lone Ranger, which failed. Those are all, like, notorious failures. Tron Legacy a little bit less, because people like that one.
Well, like, here, I also just want to say, I've said a lot in the podcast, but I do have a soft spot for, like, stuff like John Carter, which doesn't entirely work. And Tron Legacy I will, like, actively defend. And, but even just, like, as a bomb, like, a box office bomb, it, like, wasn't. I think people forget that. Like, the problem was that Disney was like, oh, we need to make that Avatar money. This will be our Avatar.
Are you talking about John Carter or Tron?
Sorry, Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
In terms of Tron Legacy, when that came out a year after Avatar, Disney was like, that's ours.
Well, yeah, because
no, it wasn't.
Well, that was that time when everyone was like, 3D's the next big thing.
And to be fair, that has, like, some of the best 3D I've ever seen in a theater.
It's pretty fantastic looking. And there's still always kind of talks about doing another one. And
I'm an ardent defender of that film, and I would, like, gladly see that, but I'm also like, please don't put Jared Leto.
Yeah,
because that came up recently, and I was like, fucking don't.
He's on contract to do it.
So now it can never happen. Sorry, everyone.
But that's something where, like, Tron Legacy is very fine, but they've never cracked a Tron script. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, completely.
They really need like that good script, because that's what's missing. And
there's so much you can do with it, but whatever. This isn't the Tron podcast. Sorry.
This is also, Touchstone. This is around the same time they also released they're doing weird movies. Michael Mann's The Insider.
Yeah.
What the hell was going on at Disney then?
They had balls.
I mean, but that was at the same time when they had, like, deals with Miramax. So, like, why didn't they just do it with Miramax? I don't know.
Well, speaking of balls and Miramax, that just put an image in my head of The Prince and the Pauper, which was originally Arabian Nights or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or no.
You're thinking of The Thief and the Cobbler.
Thief and the Cobbler, Prince and the Pauper. Holy shit, I'm so sorry.
Mr. Popper's Penguins, which was originally The Thief and the Cobbler, which was originally Arabian Nights.
Mine's all over the place today. But yeah, that was also technically a Disney film.
Released through Miramax that butchered the shit out of it.
Yeah, if you can find the finished version on YouTube, it's fascinating to watch.
The recobbled edition.
Yeah, it's not a complete film, go in knowing that, but it's, like, really interesting to see, like, a what could have been almost.
Yeah, good old Jeffrey Katzenberg was like, hey, that guy we got to make Who Framed Roger Rabbit, let's steal his dream project. And then we'll make Aladdin, which,
but more.
Yeah, well, it's like, Aladdin. Which is a fine movie, but when you attach, like, hey, it was kind of ripped off from someone's dream, kind of hurts that movie a little bit.
Yeah.
And they also fucked over Robin Williams. That's a whole other thing. This is not the Disney podcast.
No.
This is Happy Amblin, goddammit.
But you like Waterboy.
I do like The Waterboy. I don't know why.
Well, today we're gonna find out.
But I'll be honest. I can't explain why, but when the movie starts and it's a football game and Adam Sandler walks onto the field with his stupid contraption and he just says, "Now that's what I call them high quality H2O." So I'm like, I love this.
I can't do the. Is that even an accent? What do I call that?
I don't know. He's just kind
of... Whatever he's doing, I can't. I just can't get on board with it.
He's, like, meant to be, like they're kind of like, oh, Bobby, he's kind of slow, he doesn't, like, know things, but he's, like, he knows words like dehydration and decapitated and conjecture, and, like, he's not like
that makes it, like, funnier.
Well, it makes his dialogue funnier, but then it doesn't make sense when he's, like, a complete dunce.
Yeah. It does not just click for me.
He thinks alligators are angry because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush. Like, these two things don't match up.
Well,
but
that's the show, everyone.
At the start of the film, the titular water boy, Bobby Boucher, he's working for another team. I don't remember. They're like the Cougars or something.
They're the ones that bully him, right?
Yeah, they're the ones that are mean to him.
Yeah, the Cougars.
And with their head coach Red Boyu, played by Jerry Reed, who, this is like his last movie, Jerry Reed. Like, he didn't die like shortly after, but this was the last movie he did. He gives the oddest fucking performance. Did you notice, like, just his, like, facial expressions at everything? He's always, like, blinking odd and, like, exasperated, but also, like, kind of in control, but also not taking it seriously in any capacity. What was that?
I will say that is kind of perfect for this era of Adam Sandler film.
Yes,
like,
but
it also doesn't work for me, but, like, there's something there. At least in terms of, like, a Billy Madison style movie.
I don't... It feels like they couldn't control Jerry Reed. It was like he showed up and he's like, this is what I'm doing. Also because I don't believe he only appears on camera with Adam Sandler, like, once. There's a lot of times where he's, like, yelling at Sandler from across the field, but they're never on camera together.
Maybe he didn't get along with him or something.
Maybe they only had him for, like, 3 days or something.
Oh, yeah, that's a possibility, too.
Waterboy gets a lovely note from the players that says, "Dear Waterboy, eat shit and kill yourself." Signed everybody. They don't like the Waterboy.
How hard did you laugh?
They don't like the Waterboy. Do you understand?
Yeah, I got it.
So one of the players assaults the Waterboy. The coach decides the Waterboy's the problem and fires him.
It's thrilling.
Do you have anything to add?
No, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Sorry.
Jesus
No.
Christ, I wrote like so many things.
I don't get it.
It's just going to be me, like, you're counting the plot. I'm hoping to bounce some stuff off of you.
All right. Well, keep it going.
He drives home on a tractor. All right, there's the ball. I threw it in your court. What are you going to do with it? He's got the tractor.
I like that. I like. Can we just cut to Kathy Bates? Because I have stuff I actually genuinely like.
Cut there talking about when she says that they're eating the snake's knee. It's like, a snake don't have pots, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's his knee. Which might be the dumbest line ever.
No, there are some all-timer domes.
There's some great lines in this movie.
I didn't say great.
There's some.
Let me reiterate
that. But Kathy Bates apparently, her agent told her not to do it, and she threw the script out after reading 12 pages. but her niece saw that it was an Adam Sandler film and told her she had to do it. So that's why she's in this movie. And they were shocked when she said yes. Remember, Kathy Bates is an Academy Award-winning actress. And this kind of becomes a recurring thing with Adam Sandler where the supporting cast, like one of the members will be like an acclaimed actor. For no real reason. Did it start here?
Maybe, oh shit. Maybe this is the one, because there's always like character actors that have popped up in this stuff too.
Yeah, there's plenty of character actors, plenty of like buddy stuff, plenty of like, older.
Carl Weathers was in just fucking Happy Madison.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. This is gonna happen for the rest of the series. I hope you know that.
Happy Madison, Happy Amblin, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison.
Yeah. No,
Shaggy.
I already forgot. But anyways, like Carl Weathers was in that one, and like that's kind of a surprise. But I guess maybe not as much as like some later ones.
No offense to the great Carl Weathers, but maybe he wasn't up to much in the mid-90s.
Oh yeah.
So you could probably get him.
Yeah, they just killed him off in Rocky. He needed to make rent.
So Bobby Boucher is domineered by Kathy Bates. He's a very repressed young man. He's a Virgo. Did you pick up on that?
Yes, I got that. I actually like Kathy Bates a lot in this.
There's one scene where she's just dancing in the background. And it might be one of the funnier moments in the movie.
Well, she's like she's beyond lost her marbles in this, like.
Well, she's very committed, but also I think understands that she could get away with any choice she makes. Mm-hmm. So she's having a lot of fun with the role.
Yeah, and I like that because everyone was rightly calling out the Academy for snubbing Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems for the recent Academy Awards nominations. That I guess he tweeted support for her because she just got nominated or something, and then she responded in WATERBOY speak basically on Twitter.
Yeah, she was
that like
Mama Boucher.
Yeah, Mama Boucher still love you, and they done robbed you.
Did she call
the like really sweet?
Did she call the Academy the devil?
I don't know. Actually, that would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing. I bet you she couldn't do that.
That would have been the cherry on top.
That would have, but I guess if she is in the running, you don't want to do that.
But I mean, the fact that she said they done robbed you in the tweet probably.
That's good. That's fine. That's very fun.
No, it's fun, but I because the Academy is run by like morons, that they're probably like, oh, that's it. She's out.
She's out.
Yeah.
Did you read that? There's an article going around about why they voted which way, and they were like,
and it's like a horrible nightmare.
Yeah, we thought Eddie Murphy wanted it too much.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Like what the fuck?
You gave it to Leo finally for almost being murdered in the wilderness by his insane director. Like, it's the same thing.
And you're giving it to Joaquin Phoenix for just making a fool of himself in a movie. I mean,
he's like one of our best living actors, and he's like so miscalculated in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible.
Adam Sandler should have been the Joker.
He maybe could have pulled something off. I'm hoping that Adam Sandler starts like a renaissance where he's just a great supporting actor in very strange films. Because like you kind of need like a very specific character for him to be the lead, but I think he could be a great character actor. When is he going to team up with the Coen brothers?
Oh, that would work amazing. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs too.
Well, no, what is that? There's one movie they've been working on for years, which is like a prison escape film. Like they've tried to make it for like 20 years and can't get the funding. And the problem is, it's a weird one where it's like there's very little like Coen brothers are known for their dialogue, a lot of it, and it's a script where there's like almost no dialogue. And
Beautiful, sign me up.
It's just a man escaping. I think maybe that'd be Adam Sandler could play the lead in that. He's got a face.
Yeah. He's very like his face is very particular. Cuz like I was going to say like his is very expressive, but it like it is, but it's not in the way like like you just discover someone like Ana de Armas is very expressive in like Knives Out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I can't really describe Sandler as much as a fan as I am of him.
He is kind of
dramatic work.
He is kind of the heir to Jerry Lewis. You know?
I bet if you tweet that, a bunch of morons would actually say you're wrong. Because you're probably right.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where you were going with that.
Oh, yeah. I thought it'd take you on a little journey to make up for me not having a point earlier.
Okay, well.
You're welcome.
Well, his performance here as Bobby Boucher, where he's kind of has to go from, like, he has to swing from two opposite sides, where Bobby Boucher is kind of like an innocent character and a very passive character a lot of the times. The only thing he seems to care about is water and keeping people hydrated. But then he also has this explosive anger side that just lets out, and he can do that, like, with his face, you know? Mm-hmm. Where he looks like a dope, and he looks like just a very humble guy, but also someone who, not checked, could have some problems.
And I don't think the film is, like, aware enough of that line, though. Again, it's really, like, previous problems we talked about with some other Sandler films already, or just, like, kind of exacerbated, just with his performance being, like, what is this?
Well, Henry Winkler does tell him at some point, like, to defend himself, and then says, like, I'm not telling you to go on a shooting spree, which is a pretty big leap, which means he can see it in his face, too.
Well, I just think that line's there, like, I hope you're right, but I just think that line's there because Henry Winkler is, you know, the best. And he could sell that, like, escalation so well. Like, for those that have seen Barry, that show goes to, like, some pretty dark places, and Henry Winkler's character, like, continuously just, like, ramps it up comedically without killing the tension. Like, there's a moment, I won't say the context or anything like that, but, like, Bill Hader's, like, freaking out because of something that just happened, and everyone thinks he's putting on a performance. He goes into the back room, and Henry Winkler's like, Barry, that was fantastic. I need you to do that all the time. And he just, like, yells, punches a frame, and he keeps yelling, like, to nothing. And he's like, okay, I still you're in the wrong place. I'll come back later. We'll talk about it.
Henry Winkler's fantastic.
So good.
And I'm guessing this is his first collaboration with Sandler. Because he'll do a few. As Coach Klein.
As who?
Coach Klein. Coach Klein had a mental breakdown at some point, and now he coaches the worst football team in the league, you know, the college league or whatever the fuck. I know nothing about football, as you maybe guessed from our last Boy Scout episode.
And let it be known that technically there is Friday Night Football, but it's for, like, high schools, so we were still kind of wrong even when we discovered we were already wrong. Like, we got more wrong. Well,
alright, I don't actually care, but...
I don't know, I just thought that was funny. Like, I thought about that recently, and I was like, hey, wait a second.
Well, we should mention that, Bobby Boucher calls his favorite wrestler Captain Insano. In one of my favorite moments. Just Chris Farley's brother as the, commentator there. We also get, people like Peter Dante, and, Jonathan... Logran? I don't know how to... Logran? I don't know how to say his name. I apologize. But they're two guys who will appear in several of his films for the time being. In fact, a lot of these guys will carry over to the very next film. We also get returning Alan Covert, he's partnered with Clint Howard for some reason.
Because why wouldn't you want to team up anyone with Clint Howard?
Well, Clint Howard, I also looked, he only does one other Sandler film, I believe, which is a shame. He feels like he would fit right in with the Sandler group.
Really? He only does one more?
He only does Little Nicky, I believe.
What? Oh. I always felt he did more.
Maybe he does, but...
Sure?
I was looking, but I also did, it was like a very quick look, so... I could have scrolled over something.
Well, he's also in Halloween, the 2007 remake, and Solo, he has a cameo.
He was in 3 from Hell this year as a clown.
Oh, I didn't see 3 from Hell. I feel like I failed Rob Zombie.
It was fine, if you like those movies.
Devil's Reject is still like my watermark or benchmark or whatever.
Rest in peace, Sid Haig.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace.
I was watching something the other day and Sid Haig popped up and like I got really depressed because I was like, oh shit. I watched that. They did a documentary about Tom Savini. And they interviewed Sid Haig and George Romero in it. And it was like, oh, that's a bummer. Yeah. Way to bring the Waterboy episode down, me.
Watch him in Bone Tomahawk. Actually, no, don't. No,
No,
not
he
given the
dies
context
like
of this.
10
Never
seconds
mind,
in.
sorry. He lasts about 2 minutes. Just because that fucking dialogue goes on forever.
So, at the sight of one of the players spitting in the water boy becomes furious, but he represses it, because up until that point, he has been encouraged to repress his anger. But Coach Klein tells him that he's got to stand up for himself, and so the water boy assaults a player. And then Coach Klein realizes that violence is the answer. And so he wants to encourage Bobby to start playing.
It's a fun way of, like, utilizing that Sandler anger that is kind of, like, trickled through all of his characters, or just, like, outright burst through them. So it's like, that is kind of that's an interesting through line for, like, a film to, like, actively address that instead of having it just be, like, a thing. Because I think Happy Gilmore, I got it right, Happy Gilmore is the one that like, it's a big part of the narrative, but it's not, like, something he ends up overcoming, even, you know?
Yeah, his anger, oddly enough, in Happy Gilmore kind of remains unrecognized. Excuse me. Remains unrecognized in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, like, it kicks off the plot, and then that's, like, it just keeps happening.
And it's like, oh, he's angry, that's the thing. And he just kind of comes across as an insane person. Whereas Bobby Boucher, he's a nice guy. Just don't push him. It's a recognized quality in him. Although this movie seems to hint, when I talked about Captain Insano earlier, and Captain Insano laughs at him, Captain Insano explicitly says this guy is definitely still a virgin. And that's a recurring thing in this movie about being a virgin and getting your manhood. And I can't really tell if the movie is saying that if you are a repressed virgin, you're going to be a violent psychopath, or that by releasing your anger, you can achieve manhood.
I don't know which one is worse.
Yeah, I don't think either lesson's very good. But like, there's a point in this movie where it's like, oh, if Bobby finally opens up with his emotions, he's not gonna. Actually, it kind of does say that at the end, because he gets married at the end of the movie, and then it's like, I'm not gonna play football. I'm gonna go to school, and it's like, oh, he's in love now. Now he's not angry anymore. So now you can't play football. This is a weird film. Coach Klein has a tattoo of Roy Orbison on his ass, which is how he talks Bobby into playing. Because his mama is very much against football, because football is the devil. The devil.
I don't know. Kathy Bates is like the thing that I'm drawn to the most in this movie, because it's fucking Kathy Bates.
Yeah, she's very funny. She has maybe my favorite line in the movie. When he's lying to her about playing football, but he has to explain his injuries. Like, Bobby, they ever catch that gorilla that break out the zoo and punch you in the face? Like, what? No, Mama, the search continues.
See, like, you're recounting stuff, and it's like making me laugh, but nothing is felt when I watch this movie.
I think there is an uncomfortableness because it is laughing at, like, uneducated, impoverished Southerners.
Yeah, my hot take earlier wasn't just for, like, a random bit of, like, jokes, or, like, that's an actual, like, opinion I have about the movie a little bit.
Yeah, and I would say that I think it's so ridiculous that no one would believe this was accurate, accurate in a way that could represent an entire population. Mm-hmm. But then I remember that Movie Bob tweets.
Oh, so you're taking my point now?
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to tee you up for your point.
Oh,
I'll have you know.
Okay. Well, it's not even specifically about Movie Bob. He's just kind of the brunt of it, like on film Twitter.
He's just the one that won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and like, I bet he's not even like a bad guy to like be around like in person or anything. It's just like, dude, you're extremely online and you're clearly like very uninformed about many things. Please get informed or shut the fuck up. And maybe that's bad of me to say that about him too, given what I'm criticizing him about.
Nothing I hate more than uninformed people with nothing better to do in their lives just shouting about things on Twitter. You can follow me at EmperorOTN1 at twitter.com.
Well, it's so constantly looking down at like people from rural America, and they get often lumped in with like the Trump voters and like genuinely terrible people that like want to kill people with darker skin than theirs.
Yeah, as if the average Trump voter's median income wasn't upper middle class. I think we tend to ignore that fact.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certainly, racist, poor, white, southern racists, but there's also racists in every group, unfortunately.
Yeah, and to pin the blame on like a specific region of like the country or a specific people, it just like not now.
Well, it's like,
not ever.
It's if you look at an electoral map and you see all that red down south and you think that's representative of that entire part of the country. Mm-hmm. And even if it was like 90% Republican down there, which it very much isn't, there's still that 10% there that is probably suffering more oppression than any other part of this country. And we kind of just try to ignore those people because they are poor and they do fit those stereotypes, but hey, they didn't vote for Clinton, so fuck them.
I'm trying really hard not to go on like a whole other thing about that. Even recent events.
But we can't pick Bernie Sanders because no one likes him. Can't win with him.
See, now I feel like Bobby Boucher. I'm like trying really hard not to lash out. World's in a not great place right now.
Actually, you know what? I gotta be honest. I was in a bad mood a couple days ago. You might have received a text from me when I was in a mood. But I'm seeing more and more people kind of wake the fuck up. It's giving me some hope.
Well, that's the big upside to all this. They're still peddling the same bullshit from 2016, like the establishment Dems, and it's very clear that no one, or at least most people, are not like falling for it anymore.
Yeah. We'll see how Iowa goes.
Yeah.
The real problem, honestly, it is at this point, it's very clear it is going to be between Biden and Bernie.
Oh, what?
That's what.
No, I'm not gonna go to places. Never mind.
No, I'm just saying those are the two who are gonna. They're the only two who have a chance to win at this point. I mean, I'm not even trying to be mean to Elizabeth Warren, frankly. It's just that's where the dominoes are laying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be about who drops out and who sides with who first. And if they can maintain the infighting between Sanders and Warren going, then Biden wins. Or Democrat Mitt Romney, Pete, whatever his name is.
Oh, that's a good description.
Yeah, it's the most accurate thing ever. So Bobby Boucher starts playing for the Mud Dogs or whatever the fuck they're called.
Oh my god, we're still going. I forgot.
Yeah, we gotta finish this movie.
All right. Do a speed read.
I love Sandler's line when he agrees to play. Do you remember that one?
I actually don't. I'm sorry.
If you come up with the clip here where it's like, it's like, Bobby, can you do it for us? And he goes, not only will I do it for you, yes, I will do it for you.
I was going to try to guess it. I was like, what is it? I don't remember. And I was going to be like, run, Forrest, run? Like, I don't remember.
What?
The football, the running.
What?
My brain went to Forrest Gump.
What?
Yeah.
This is kind of Forrest Gump, except good.
Wow. Please tweet that out.
I will when the episode drops.
Thank you. Holy shit.
It is. Am I wrong?
I actually don't hate Forrest Gump.
I don't either,
do
but this is better than Forrest Gump.
No.
This is much better.
No. No.
Lieutenant Dan.
Versus the Chad Bobby Boucher.
Lieutenant Dan versus Farmer Fran.
Oh my god. See, that's what Adam Sandler needs to do now, too. Take his previously established characters, give them a sequel, but have it be a remake of a separate film.
You know what he should do? Here's my brilliant idea.
Okay.
He's got to remake It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. But it's featuring all of his characters, and he plays all of them.
I think you brought that up before, but I still think it's a great idea.
I've brought up It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, but I haven't brought up this idea yet.
Oh, maybe it was an SNL skit or something.
Well, they did that SNL thing where it's like everyone came out dressed as his characters. Like, so it's
That's
just
it.
basically
Yeah,
everyone.
never mind.
Which is a thing they do now. Because they did it with Walken, and then they did it with Jim Carrey. I don't know. I think something that really hurts SNL is the fact that it's live. Because no one's laughing.
Honestly, the best way to get laughs out of SNL now is to bring back an all-timer like Adam Sandler or Eddie Murphy or something like that, because everyone just likes their comeback kind of stories, you know?
Yeah.
Like people like their personas, so that's an easy win. A more modern pop star like the dude who was Dunkirk, Harry Styles. Actually, I'm a fan of his.
I love that.
He's a good actor.
I love that Christopher Nolan film, The Dude Who Was Dunkirk.
Yeah, I said the dude who was in Dunkirk.
You said the dude who was Dunkirk.
The dude who was Dunkirk. Yeah, that's just Don Quixote.
It's an actual like person played by Harry Styles who is like the physical embodiment of the Battle of Dunkirk.
You just cut to him just like constantly morphing explosions in water. Please kill me.
Very, very esoteric film from Christopher Nolan.
But anyways, that's what SNL kind of needs to do, or just have people crack up, because that always gets you.
Yeah, when a skit like fails spectacularly, that's pretty funny.
No. Do you mean like people laughing, or like is not getting any laughs?
Dead silence is pretty funny.
Oh. No, I just get uncomfortable.
This is a funny movie. I don't know why you didn't enjoy it.
No, it's
a funny movie.
It's funny to talk about. Be like, hey, remember that time Kathy Bates was in an Adam Sandler film as his mother?
He assaults a professor who looks like Colonel Sanders.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
And that, for no reason, for the rest of the film, that professor is just getting beaten up. There's no real point to it. And then the film ends with him being trampled to death. That's funny.
I don't know, man.
I don't know how you didn't enjoy this.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I had a longer day. Maybe. No, but I didn't really laugh a lot when I watched it either. So, should we talk about the obligatory Adam Sandler love interest?
Yes, Vicky Valancourt.
That's not the actress's name.
That's the character's name.
Fuck, you're right.
You fucking motherfucker.
Fairuza Balk, who is in the much beloved film The Craft and The Island of Dr. Moreau.
And Return to Oz.
And Almost Famous.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. No, I actually think she never really got her big break. Like in all seriousness.
No, she's
I'm actually a fan.
Same, I agree.
Yeah.
She's a very good interview in that documentary about the making of The Isle of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's a very good documentary. If you just want to watch insanity.
I actually do, and because that's one of those films that is credited to like Alan Smithy, basically.
No, John Frankenheimer.
He's the one who got the official credit?
Yeah, he got the official credit.
Oh shit! Okay, never mind. Sorry,
but still, it's fucking John Frankenheimer.
Yeah, but I think the original director was Richard Stanley, right?
Yeah, he was. He got fired like 3 days in, and they brought John Frankenheimer in.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, Richard Stanley has a new movie out finally called Color Out of Space that I'm really looking forward to. So,
Richard Stanley does not blink in interviews. It's very unsettling.
Well, he's just so focused on the craft.
He talks about he consulted a witch doctor to help get the Isle of Dr. Moreau made.
The witch doctor didn't do him any favors.
And that he thought the hyena wallpaper on his hotel room was trying to attack him. And at the same time, the hotel was struck by lightning, and his mother reported that a hyena had tried to get into the house. He thought there was black magic trying to stop him from making the Isle of Dr. Moreau.
No, see, that's funny.
It's like this
That'd
movie.
make a funny movie.
Like this movie was very funny.
No.
I mean, we could.
I like this is another one of the situations that keeps happening in these movies where I like the actors playing the character more than I like the character.
Well, yeah, but we're never going to get great characters in these things.
But even compared to, it sounds funny saying the earlier ones already, and we're 5 Adam Sandler films deep. There's always a little something there, and a performance can only carry it so much when there's literally nothing.
Is there anything you want to single out in this film? Fucking give me something, motherfucker.
Rob Schneider as the townie.
Great. Wonderful.
You're welcome.
The thing everyone knows about this fucking movie.
I like that part. But that's fine. I'm sorry I broke the episode.
Well, at least one of us is a professional.
Give me something about the ending. We'll bookend it.
Well, all right. We should mention that we should explain the reason why the water boy loves water. The water boy loves water because his father died of dehydration while serving in the Peace Corps. Towards the end of the film, it's revealed that no, his father did not in fact die while serving in the Peace Corps. His father just abandoned his mother. And is still alive and is a guy named Roberto.
Because it's funny because it's not a normal English name when you add the O at the end.
That's right, Diego. We should mention that Roberto is played by the director. And the movie ends with, instead of Bobby assaulting someone, Kathy Bates assaults someone.
Well, see, I'd watch a movie about that. Kathy Bates just beating the shit out of people.
She presumably kills Roberto. Because he's just out, he's immobile, and his eyes are wide open. That man's dead.
Matt, would you recommend The Waterboy?
Oh, yes. I think it's one of Sandler's better films.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
If you have a penchant for the punchline being violence, then I suggest
maybe,
this,
but I love Bad Boys 2, and that movie is nothing but violence.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help you.
Watch Bad Boys for Life, everyone.
Nope. No, I like this movie a lot. I think this is one of his better films.
Well, a lot of people did, because, like we mentioned earlier, it was a huge hit. It probably helped extend Sandler's career, and then because it was also the same year as The Wedding Singer, I think that's kind of what helped solidify him.
Well, this is the beginning of him.
Industry.
This is the beginning of him truly becoming a dominant force in pop culture.
And 10 years ago, he was doing Going Overboard. So that's a glow up.
Anyone can do it.
Everyone just needs their water boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is sports movie.
Sandler.
People like sports movies. I guess this is very popular among sports fans. Don't know why.
They should be watching The Last Boy Scout instead, but that might just be me.
I don't know, but that movie kind of makes you you kind of have to watch and go, yeah, I guess football kind of is a fucking evil sport.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. People can't reconcile that, and people can come and walk away from this one being like, yeah, it does help you overcome your problems.
This movie does not include a subplot where Bobby Boucher starts suffering from massive brain damage from playing football too much.
Maybe that's what it needed.
That would be interesting. If, the third act, it just became, super serious. We just watched Bobby Boucher die in a hospital.
Well, don't you... I don't know if you remember this, but, one of the big, early memes in the early 2000s was, when Paul Blart Mall Cop was coming out. or early 2010s, excuse me.
I remember him being a meme.
Yeah, but like the third one, like there was news of a third one potentially happening around the time the second one was hitting theaters, and then someone like posted like a fictional synopsis, but it's like a dark, serious version of Paul Blart where it just goes full David Fincher Alien 3, and he like survives a mass shooting, and it's just like a very serious drama.
Well, do you remember when the trailer for Cars 3 dropped?
Yeah,
because there is a real life example of this.
And everyone was like, Lightning McQueen is fucking dead.
Yeah, we're like the first movie is just like Doc Hollywood, except it's cars and Larry the Cable Guy's there. And the second movie is like just insanity. It's like a spy movie for some reason. And the trailer for the third movie is like Lightning McQueen dies 10 minutes in. Which I don't believe is what that movie's about, but that trailer was something.
I saw Cars 3 at an early premiere.
Hey now.
And I met most of the cast, actually.
Hey, did you meet Larry the Cable Guy?
I did, yeah. Hey. I got a picture, but the person that took the picture was blurry, like made it blurry, so I was like, really? Like, I'm not even a fan, but I was like, it's a famous person, and I'm not that, so.
I have a photo of me with Gilbert Gottfried, and it is the least flattering photo. I look somehow significantly worse than Gilbert Gottfried. So I never share it. It's like cosmically bad vibes.
That was Waterboy. Cars 3 is actually like fine.
We're not talking about fucking Cars 3.
No. I got a whole thing about Cars 3, but not the Waterboy.
Onward looks great.
I also liked Bright.
What?
No, just kidding. It looks like Bright. Onward looks like the movie Bright.
What's Bright?
Are you serious?
What's Bright?
Orc Cop.
Oh, Orc Cop. Okay. Yeah. I just know Orc Cop now.
Well, like it's like one of those Mandela effects, right? And I was calling not even Gods of Egypt. What's the fucking Exodus Gods and King? The whole thing was like, oh yeah, it's White Egypt. And for years, I just kept calling it that as a joke. And when someone brought it up again, I was like, what movie is that? And they're like, oh, Ridley Scott directed it. Oh, you mean White Egypt? And like, I was serious. Like, it just stuck in my brain.
My other one with that, with also the same director as Orc Cop. I don't know the name of his role. I keep calling it Tank.
Tank,
the one about the tank. I just always call it Tank.
Yeah, furry.
Furry?
Yeah.
So, what are they're furry? I would remember if there were furries in that tank.
No, Fury.
That's Shia LaBeouf's destiny right there to play a furry.
No. Oh, I really want him to take like the Daniel Radcliffe route and just take like conditionally like weirder roles.
It seems like that's what he's trying to do.
I'm down with that.
That's fine.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe got his Harry Potter money. Now he's like, what do you want me to do, world? I'm gonna play a farting corpse? I'm gonna play a dude who gets guns nailed into his hands? Like,
well, the other one is
I love that guy.
Mr. Frodo is like, all he does is produce horror films now.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
Like really weird horror films.
He produced Mandy, man.
He produced the Greasy Strangler.
Yeah. Much like The Waterboy, a movie that is not for me. There you go. We've wrapped it around, and I can make this into a listenable episode.
Good luck with that.
Oh no, I could do it.
Just whenever you can't figure out how to blend stuff together, just put Farmer Fran's babbling.
I think Twin Peaks will be my go-to actually. Whenever that happens now.
Put the Twin Peaks under Adam Sandler clips. Put the Twin Peaks music.
Oh, hey, okay, I could do that.
He could be a Twin Peaks character.
But anyways, that was the Waterboy.
Waterboy. Keep yourself hydrated.
Stay away from that devil worshipping.
Don't avoid the devil. Avoid Gatorade. H2O is where it's at.
And let us know if anyone's heard of that that gorilla that broke out of the zoo.
It's still on the loose, still at large.
The gorilla continues.
The gorilla that assaulted Bobby Boucher.
All right, you better end this so I can die.
I'm at Emperor OTN at twitter.com.
And you can find
Emperor OTN1 at twitter.com.
Yeah, there it is. And you can find me at twitter.com at the Diego Crespo. Check out the Waffle Press on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and Patreon, where you can listen to some of these early, and along with other stuff that's on there.
Oh, I bet the Patreon donors are glad to listen to this one early.
Oh,
was that money worth it, friends?
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We have been professionally unprofessional.
Bye now. I don't care what happens, it just needs to inspire violent revolution.